Rose-colored glasses, take one.
Hi, I'm Dana.
And I'm Angel.
And you're watching Rose-Colored Glasses with Lord and Lady Logan.
In a world where people are quick to talk about the things they dislike, we want to keep it positive. So we'll be individually and collectively telling you about all the things we do like.
We hope you enjoy the show.
And if you do, please hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, and come back again. Hi everyone, I'm Angel Logan, and thank you for joining me today on Rose-Colored Glasses with Lord and Lady Logan. Many people say what you do is not who you are, and in most cases I would agree. However, I'm pretty sure that writing has always been a huge part of who I am. As far back as I can remember, I had a pen in hand and something to say. In fact, my mother knew before I did that I would be a writer. Now, she was never the pushy type of parent who would force me to follow a path that wasn't my own, nor did she even suggest writing to me. Instead, she just put a pen into my hand and let nature take its course. It began when I was a little girl and she bought me a cute diary with a key and lock. No one could have known how excited I would be to receive my first diary. Well, Mom did for sure, and I couldn't wait to write down all of my private little girl thoughts. Does a child at such a young age really have anything to say? Well, apparently I did. As time progressed, I found myself writing little stories, poems, and songs, just dreaming with pen in hand. Then, of course, during those awkward teenage years when communication between an only daughter and her overprotective father became challenging, Mom figured it out again. She handed me a pen and said, "Don't tell him how you feel, write it." Little did I know back then what a huge impact writing would have upon my life's journey. During college, I was always seen with a notebook filled with original angel-written poems. Much of my poetry at the time revolved around love and an array of all-consuming emotions, but into adulthood, those adolescent words gradually evolved into something much more for me. I remember a 9-to-5 job that I had after moving to Massachusetts where I had created an underground newspaper with a coworker. Writing was still a bit personal for me, so it was more of a fun and private thing that no one saw except the two of us. I wasn't quite ready to share my words with the world. But then later, I took a chance and I submitted one of my poems to a random contest, and it was published in an anthology. This wasn't really huge, and the anthology was more of a money-making opportunity for the makers of it. Still, to see my name and my words on the page of a printed book was just the motivation that I needed, and I finally consciously knew that writing was in fact my calling. Now, this didn't take away from the musical side of my world, which was my father's gift to me and inherently part of my soul. However, writing took on a life of its own for me, and that was the courage that I needed to lean into it. One lesson that I learned among many that probably mattered more than most was that I didn't need to exhaust my time and energy comparing myself to other writers, nor did I need to question whether people would like what I had to say or not. Writing is a form of art, and art is about self-expression. So how can anyone truly critique how I choose to express myself? How could anyone truly critique any artist? It's all subjective in the eyes of the beholder, and our job as artists, whether it's writing, performing, designing, or creating, is to be true to who we are and share what we have to say authentically. Either people will get it or they won't. I'm sure that some of you have heard me say many times over the years that country music artists are not trying to market their music to heavy metal or hip-hop enthusiasts. Country music artists are marketing their music to the people who enjoy listening to country music. Doesn't that make more sense? It's the job of marketing professionals to get what we have to offer within the hands of our intended audience and to those who will benefit most from what we have to say through our art. It is our job as artists to believe in ourselves and trust the manner in which we choose to express the art that we create. When I look at it this way, it seems simple to me, and I don't get lost in someone else's subjective view. I've learned that if someone doesn't like my writing, it clearly wasn't meant for that individual. I can't be hurt by that, especially not when I can see the positive effect that my creations have had on some of the people it was intended to reach. When I decided to turn my writing into a full-time business as the Angel Logan brand, this plan was met with some criticism and doubts from a few people who didn't think that writing was anything more than a hobby, and they didn't hesitate to say so. Others supported me to my face, but then gossiped about or criticized me behind my back during some of my times of struggle, and I had my fair share of struggles in the beginning as I tried to get established. Of course, there were those who wholeheartedly supported me when I was doing well, but if I had challenges generating customers or revenue at any time while trying to grow my business, they quickly changed their outlook and questioned the reason that I hadn't given up my writing and opted out for a real job. They just didn't understand that this was my real job and that you have to go through a few things before you finally reach any level of success. Plus, there were varying opinions of what was considered success. Bottom line, I had to make a few tough choices regarding what my writing career would entail because of those struggles. When I began my writing career, it was just about the time when my mother's health issues had created financial problems for her, and I needed to do whatever I could to help her. Naturally, this trickled into my own financial life, and I wasn't able to nurture the original career that I had planned with my first published book. And it meant putting a few personal goals aside too, which Dana happily supported because my mother loved Dana unconditionally the way she always loved me, and he loved her too. In order to keep my head above water for a bit, I had to put my own book projects on the back burner and open my career up to providing professional writing services to varying paying customers in countless different industries and locations all over the U.S. Thank God for the internet because I could take care of customers right from my home office, whether they were here in Massachusetts or all the way over on the West Coast. You just never knew what the subject matter would be about, from designer handbags, warehouse racking systems, musical biography profiles, oil and gas companies, and a brand new tequila, to baby nurse guidance, medical equipment software, nationwide relocation services, high-end furniture imported from Europe, bank promo material, social media games, the hospitality industry, and so much more. And I haven't even included the editing projects and book writing or collaborations that I've done in fiction, nonfiction, and children's genres. The commercial work that I chose to do had nothing to do with the core of my career, but everyone has to pay their dues, and I definitely did that. Regardless of what I was writing in my business, I took pride in what I did, and I treated it the way I would treat my own writing projects, with an all-in approach. Anyone, in my opinion, can string some words together and make them sound pretty, but to me, as a writer, I needed to understand the meaning behind those words to truly convey the messages of my customers. The way that I did that was to fully immerse myself into the subject matter regardless of what it was. And I didn't want to be constantly asking a customer about this or that. Instead, I took the initiative to educate myself in what the subject matter was. And this was something that my customers valued in the professional services and style that I provided. It really made me feel good to hear a customer say, "How did you know that I was feeling that? I didn't even tell you." Or, "I can't believe that I didn't have to teach you any of this. How did you know so much about my industry?" This is because I did my research and I put myself in the shoes of my customers. The other thing is that I was truly grateful for those commercial projects, not only because of the revenue that it generated, but also because it really enhanced my writing ability and it enabled me to learn about a myriad of topics that I had never known about before. There's a lot of work that has to be done behind the scenes of any business. A lot of uncredited work that no one will pay you for specifically or even see, but it still has to be done in order to maintain and grow your business. Not everyone understands that, but the ones who do get it are usually business owners just like me who are dedicated and passionate about what they do. Prior to the pandemic, I had finally reached a point within my career when I was just about ready to start veering away from the customer projects that I had done and start focusing on book projects that I had put aside for so long. I had planned to make this transition gradually to get my career back to where it was supposed to be. However, the pandemic dried up all of my customer work and sped up that process. Instead of sitting around feeling sorry for myself while waiting for customers that weren't reaching out to me for my writing services because of the shutdowns and all of the economic instability, I decided that I could be busy working on turning the Angel Logan brand into what it was originally intended to be. Dana was laid off because of the pandemic. He was waiting to be called back to work because his job was being held for him for when the company got back on its feet. So this was the ideal time for Dana and I to put our heads together on a YouTube channel idea that we had discussed previously as a way to expand the Angel Logan brand, create a promotional outlet to feature my book projects, and to be something special for us to work on together. It was a lot of work, a lot of learning, a lot of time, and a labor of love. And after a year, we launched this channel last October. Although it was time-consuming and labor-intensive, it's been amazing. Dana enjoys being part of this with me because we are a team. We always have been, and we always have done everything possible to support each other's careers as a team. I love the video production and technical side of this process too. I'm a creative person, and this nurtures that part of me. Although I, like many business owners, have faced a few challenges along the way, for the most part this has been an amazing journey thus far, and I am truly living my dream. And while a few people may not have fully understood my path, there are others who have been an unwavering source of inspiration. Those individuals have believed in me and my writing career no matter what, during my victorious moments, during my times of struggle, and even when I've had a few moments of my own doubts and insecurities. Those individuals never had even one doubt, and they've always encouraged me to never give up on my dreams. Leading that pack has been my husband Dana, who continually told me from the beginning that I could do it. He helped me to learn that I just needed to tune out the noise of the naysayers, believe in myself, and trust myself to do what I do best, and I couldn't have done it without his unconditional support. I hope this tells you a little bit of who I am as a writer. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I hope that you will visit again to take a look through our rose-colored glasses. Until next time.